Nexon needs to fix these issues with MapleStory's every little thing, every precious thing patch. Here we are going to be going over and reviewing Duky's video about what is wrong with MapleStory, because that's essentially how I see it, man. And I really like this video. I watched it. Shout out to Duky, bro. Thank you for being one of the biggest MapleStory YouTubers and calling on Nexon for their crap. But let's take a look. No more ranting. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Let's get into it.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to tell you guys about some stuff that Nexon needs to fix on MapleStory. I'm going to tell you why you need to care about it. I'm hoping that somebody at Nexon watches this video because things are getting ridiculous. I want to do my part with any sort of platform I have to talk about some of these issues on the game. I sort of want to make this a more common thing as well. When things are broken or we're getting no communication on something, I want to make videos calling it out because it's ridiculous. I've done this before, but I want to do it more often, and Inkwell told me himself that he watches my videos at MapleCon, and I'm just gonna take it at face value. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already, come to the live stream and join the Discord linked down below. The first thing that I want to talk about is Arcane boxes. We have had absolutely zero communication on why Arcane box drop rates are nerfed, and honestly this is the same for Abso Lab boxes as well. These have also been nerfed. Now obviously the exact drop rate of these items is not a known thing, but with the sheer amount of people that run these bosses every single week, nobody is getting these drops. These drops are literally more rare than pitch boss drops nowadays.
I have been doing the Arcane boss runs for a month. And like 3 to 2 weeks on 2 characters, a month on 1 character. So I think it's like 7, I don't know, 5, 6 bosses, right? So 6 times 4 times 2, let's just say I have gotten 0 Arcane boss. I've gotten 0 before the nerf. I gotten 0 after the nerf. Now I will say my buddy who I do the runs with has 5 boxes, all gotten while I never got it, all on the same run. So it is something in which the problem is they don't disclose the drop rate. That is the issue. Because as I showed you, I will run with 250 drop rate. I get no box. My buddy doesn't even apply his drop rate gear when he gets it. He's at 5 boxes on 2 different characters. So it just really goes to show and tell that something's going on there. And I don't know if I talked about it in my other video or if I posted it, but my issue is you don't get your just due for putting in the works in this game, where if you have to put all this work in becoming stronger, maybe you're even the lead damager on the run, just for someone else to get the item is discouraging. What is the point of me getting better if I could just sit around, do just blue dot, and then I get the item? That's stupid. That is absolutely stupid. And while I'll add another thing too, on the mobile game, everyone gets their own individual instance when it comes to pitch items. Why are we sharing instances with pitch items? That is insane. That is absolutely insane. For as low as the drop rate is, you want 6 people or however many people to fight over a drop that you probably won't see in 6 months? Nexon, that has to be the absolute stupidest, and that's not even a word, but the most stupid thing that you could ever do, especially since you applied it to your mobile game, so you're aware of it. Why would you not apply it to your main game? The mobile game makes more sense to make it instant based because you want to tax people for money on that thing. The things they do drives us nuts because it makes no sense. That's why. At least if you told us, okay, now we know. But the fact that it just why? Like, why? Holy smokes.
For those who don't know, recently in this latest patch, they made these boxes tradable. So if I hover over this Abso box over here, it says account bound tradable within the world. So that's actually a really good thing. It's really good that they're tradable. And this was an issue for a long time and they resolved it. So now they're tradable and that's amazing. But the drop rate has been nerfed. I don't know if this is intentional or not.
Yes, it was.
I don't know if they think that this is a way to like balance it out or something, but this is bad. bad. They need to look into this. We need communication on why this is the case, and I'll tell you why this is a problem as well. You can look at this from a few different perspectives. When you have a very established account, you are going to have multiple characters that have full 22 arcanes. Like on my hideout account over here, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 characters that have full 22 star arcanes. And then some of my...
That sucks. His main is a Hayato, bro. Wow, way to pick the wrong class, bro. And I feel you. I love ninjas and I love samurais. Where I know he's happy Ren came out, but holy smokes. You picked the Japanese class in a Korean game. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
The characters have arcane set. If you know, you know. The full arcane set. It's just a normal thing that has been a thing in the game for a while now, where you will get arcane drops from these bosses, and then eventually you can accumulate enough drops to 22-star your arcanes. If you just keep playing the game long enough, this is how your account ends up. So because for the last year or two this has been the case, there are many established accounts that have all of their Legion champs finished already with 22-star arcanes. And now because these arcane boxes are nerfed and they're not dropping, this sort of creates a legacy gap. You could look at it like that, where it creates a legacy gap where people in the past will have their Legion champs all finished and funded way easier than people moving forward if this continues to be nerfed and it doesn't get fixed. We're moving backwards, which is not good. We don't want...
Keep in mind, guys, it was fixed, right? And they gave a 0.5 extra, which is just like, once again, 0.5 extra of what? 0.5 extra of what, Nexon? You can say it's 10 times the rate, but the rate could be 0.0.01 or 0.001 or something, and we wouldn't know. So that's not really saying much, but it has been fixed.
Want to move backwards in progression. The other thing is there's this new boss in Korea called Kai that comes out in the Crown update over there, which is going to be our June update. This boss has really good drops. She can just straight up drop eternal armors. So what's going to happen in the future update with Crown is people are going to be getting eternal gear much easier. And if arcanes stay nerfed, then it's going to make a very weird upgrading path where you're going to go straight to eternals and there's no arcanes. And if you don't get lucky on eternal drops or you can't prog it, it's over. This problem affects people right now as well. Right now, most of the new players are wearing challenger gear. And the way to transition out of challenger gear is to get arcane gear at 18 stars. And you were always able to get arcanes as drops. But now that the arcane drops are severely nerfed and you don't see any of them, they're very rare to get. How are you going to replace this challenger gear when it expires? Am I going to get Absolabs? Well, I guess I could get Absolabs, but then it would be worse than my current gear unless I severely fund the Absolabs, which will be replaced anyways by Arcanes long term, which will also be replaced by Eternals anyways after that. So it creates a very bad progression system where once these expire, I'm going to be going backwards in progression and then wearing really old gear that's not good, putting messes into it, funding it, and then replacing it, and then replacing it again. It's a waste of time. It's not fun. Nobody wants to do it. And this was never an issue in the past because Arcane boxes used to drop. Within like the 4 months you had of challenger gear, there was a very high likelihood that you would get the full set arcane and you could transition to that. But nowadays, it doesn't seem to be the case. Even running Black Mage, multiple characters, Black Mage has had the highest drop rate of arcanes. It doesn't drop. It's like extremely rare. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people that have the drop, but I'm talking about on average. People are saying the drop rates on average feel 2 times or 3 times worse than normal. And I've seen this myself. I run a lot of characters every single week and they don't get any drops at all. This is not the same as complaining about pitch boss drop rate. This is not the same as complaining about anything that's supposed to be rare. Arcanes are not rare anymore. It's standard gear, and now they've become extremely rare, which is not good. This problem is only going to get worse with the new item burning in the future. The new item burning in the future gives you 22-star gear. And of course, this item burning gear will expire. So you're going to be wearing 22-star gear in the future. How are you supposed to transition out of that if arcanes don't drop? Are you supposed to just pray that Eternals drop? I mean, you could pray that Eternals drop. What if they don't drop? This is not...
Even with that, bro, 22 starring your stuff in Chronos or just the non-interactive server is like very expensive and very undoable because everything is RNG in the game. It's not that easy to collect meso. People have lives and jobs. Nexon, if you didn't realize it. They've never realized that. I've been playing since 08. They've never realized that. But I don't even know. That's a whole issue in itself. But even with the boxes being fixed, I think the rates either weren't changed, they'll change it later, they made a mistake and they still haven't fixed it, so they just multiplied it by 0.5 until February. But they probably didn't fix the drop rate, if that makes any sense, because there's no reason why I've gone at least 3 weeks with 2 characters and I've never seen a drop. I had to buy a drop with freaking the coins and farm money to purchase it too. So that's just such a defeating feeling. I got double roll crit stat though. I'm very happy. Very happy. But aside from that, you shouldn't have to work that hard. Your hard work should be justified in a certain way. You should not have everything tied behind RNG or a paywall when you are working towards strengthening your character just for a chance for something. That is stupid. And then you make a pity system that freaking sucks. It sucks, bro. And then you got people like, oh, at least they finally gave us one, bro. Stop praising them for scraps. They're sucking and siphoning a lot of your time. You don't have to play the game. Shut the fuck up. Can't stand those individuals. They want you to play the game. It's a mutual agreement. We give them time. They give us a freaking fun experience. We're not having a fun experience. Oh, well, then you should stop playing the game. Gosh, bro, you people. Shut up. We're trying to make the game better. So start properly complaining so we can make it better, bro. Holy smokes.
Not a good way to structure the game at all. Like, the progression is so much worse because these things don't drop. And I'm not asking the game to be like super easy and super free. I'm not complaining that the game is like hard or anything. I'm complaining that it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to nerf these drop rates. You're going backwards in your own game design, which you don't want to do. The next thing I want to talk about are these mysterious star spec boxes. So there's a few issues with these. The most notable issues is that there is a limit of 10 that you can get per world, which is a major issue. So they have created multiple systems in the game that are designed to alleviate booming. Just so we're on the same page, whenever you star force your gear, there's a chance for the item to be destroyed. And because star forcing goes past 22 stars now, the chance to be destroyed is actually pretty high, and you will be booming a lot of gear. And because we don't have a market where we could just buy infinite amount of gear, they created a way to alleviate this through the star spec system and other systems. But the problem is you only get 10 of these boxes a day. When you open one of these boxes, you get star specs or shining star specs, and you can use these to create star cores, which can resurrect your gear. But because you only get 10 of these, it's just like a drop in the ocean compared to how many you actually need to make this system functional. Right now, this system is essentially non-functional. You have to spend months and months and months just to resurrect one item, when some of these items you're going to need 5, 10, 15 of them to star force. So how am I supposed to get enough star specs? It's impossible. The other thing is, again, we're going backwards. Why is this capped? Everything else in the game is not capped. I could farm as much Sol Erda fragment as possible, as much as I want. I could just keep farming fragments. I could farm as many mesos as I want. I could farm as many nodes as I want. I could farm as many familiars as I want. But this, we're going backwards. It's capped, which means you can't farm as much as you want. I personally think that the reason they did this is to prevent botters or macroers or people like that from getting an unlimited amount of these, and then they are super powerful. Well, to be fair, what about all the other resources then? Does them getting unlimited mesos and nodes and familiars and fragments, does that not matter at all? But only the star specs. This is like where...
Why does that even matter in an Iron Man server where you can't trade? Who cares if that person's able to one-shot all the bosses? Who gives... What does that do for me? How does that affect me? If anything, I'm on their party and I just blue dot, they're gonna kill the boss for me faster. I hate sticking around in dark now for too long. It could get dark now there, right? So there's literally, that is, I get he's just bringing out what he believes to be the case, because once again, they're so just nonsensical with the choices they make. You have to bring these suggestions up, or these reasons why you feel like they're doing something that doesn't even make sense, because none of it makes sense. They just throw something at a board. Yeah, we're gonna do that. that we're gonna do that one.
They draw the line where it's like it's capped. Now, I'm
But
not
sir,
saying
that
everything
says
else should be
delete
capped.
all the
I'm saying
characters in the
everything
game. Yeah,
else
we're gonna
needs
do
to
that.
be uncapped. Everything needs to be uncapped in this game. And then you need to figure out a different way to prevent people from taking advantage of that. Like, that's just part of the game. If you're worried about that, then you need to figure out a way to stop people from doing that without punishing people who just want to grind all day. Because this feels punishing. It feels like, why am I limited on how much I could farm just because maybe some people are going to take advantage of this? It's not fair, honestly. And you're going backwards in game design. I'm going to keep saying that. The other thing with these is the drop rate has also been nerfed. I don't know what's wrong like with this patch. If this is intentional, again, there's been no communication about this. Is the drop rate of these were nerfed. You used to be able to get all 10 of them. At least you could do it quickly. At least you could do it within like 30 minutes. Now it takes hours to get all 10 of them every single day. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is it taking longer with no communication too? That's the craziest part. And I don't want to hear people being like, oh, what do you expect, guys? Like, lol, what do you expect? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
See, he also doesn't like those individuals. You guys respectively need to shut the fuck up. It just stop. Stop. If you don't care, then don't care in the corner. Just go off in your depressive ways and just go be a moral high horse or moral high ground somewhere else. Let us do the complaining so everyone else can get a better game. Is that fair? Is that fine? Can we make that agreement?
Matter. Like, just because this is something that has been an ongoing issue, like low communication from Nexon, doesn't mean I can't complain about it. Like, it doesn't mean I could just sit here and be like, well, it's just how Nexon is. They don't say anything at all, so I shouldn't complain. No, I'm gonna keep complaining, and I'm gonna use my voice to explain why these things are wrong. And you should care about this. You should care about the star specs, because eventually, when you make it past early game, you're gonna start booming your gear a lot, and you're gonna wish that you had a way to resurrect your gear. This is an issue that affects everybody, whether you're an end game, mid game, late game, it doesn't matter. It affects everybody. The last issue that I want to mention in this video is, why the hell do we not have a universal cash shop yet? So the cash shop inventory, how it works, for those who don't know, is you can only share items within your same class family or your class archetype. Like, for example, on my Ren over here, my Ren is an anima, which means that I could only share my cash shop items with other anima classes like Hoyoung or Lara. But if I go on my Arc or I go on my Kinesis, I cannot share any of these items, which is a huge restriction on the game. It means that all of these duplicates that I get are useless. It means that I can't share extra cubes that I get. It means that I would have to buy multiple vac pets if I want to play on multiple characters and farm on them.
$150 Canadian for one of those.
I understand why this is the case. Like, they want to make more money. They think that if you restrict the cash shop, it'll force people into buying things that they already bought. And sometimes that's the case. Sometimes that's the case where it's like, oh, my vac pet is trapped on this one character, but I really want to play a different character, so now I got to buy another one. And some people feel like that, and then they end up spending much more. Now, this is not supposed to be the case. I'm going to tell you why it's not supposed to be the case. Taiwan MapleStory announced on their showcase for this patch that they're getting the universal cash shop. That's what this says, that they're getting universal cash shop. MapleStory Southeast Asia, MapleStory C as well, during their showcase.
That, I don't know if you guys see this, if you don't see it on the screen here, the dude on the bottom right, the bottom left, sorry, that is some drip. Bro, that backpack, that top, and that pants, that is some drip, bro. If that gets released, I'm dropping a bag.
They announced unifies cash shop storage across all characters. What about our showcase? What about us in Global MapleStory? I thought the patch was called Every Little Thing, Every Precious Thing. Is the cash shop not precious? Is that not something that's very important? How come every other region, Korea as well, by the way, Korea as well, obviously. How come every other region has universal cash shop and we don't? Why? Why are we the only region that doesn't have this, whereas everybody else has this? Couldn't you make the same argument for the other regions that maybe they would make?
North America is a greed capital. It's literally capitalism at its finest. That's why.
More money if the cash shop wasn't universal? Maybe you could make that argument. But why are we punished? Why are we punished because we don't have as much whaling in our server? That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Because the other servers are not heroic and they have to spend real money to get their gains, they probably feel like they can give them a universal cash shop and still make a lot of money. But for us, they probably don't feel that way. They probably don't feel that way because we don't have as much stuff to whale on. So they feel like if they gave us universal cash shop, we would spend less money. money. My argument to that is it's actually the opposite. Maybe there would be less sales on VACPet, for example, because you would just share your VACPet across all your other characters. But stuff like this, Ethereal Atelier and Mythic Star Boxes, Philosopher Books, packages, Royal Coupons, literally every other cosmetic, Premium Surprise Star Box, I would say that the sales would probably go up because now you would have the ability to actually dress up multiple characters. A lot of people don't like buying an X because it's trapped on one character. It's trapped only on one character. It also makes it feel like you have to main a certain job branch because you can share your cash up items. Like when I play Ren over here and people ask me, what class should I play for my Legion champion? What class should I play as my boss meal? You know what I tell them? I say Lara and Ho Young. Why do I tell them Lara and Ho Young? I tell them Lara and Ho Young because they share cash shop together. That way they don't have to rebuy another VACPet. That way that if they buy cosmetics, they can actually share their cosmetics across their characters.
I have so many permanent items on my Nightwalker that I don't know what to do with. So many outfits, and you got 3 presets. The very least, give us more presets. It's like just they're so ass backwards with everything they do. If you're gonna stick everything on one person, why do we only have 3 presets? 3 outfits. But at this point, I've went across buying like 7 different premium runs. So I have 7 different outfits. Why do I only have 3 presets to work off of? It's just like, you just can't have anything with these people. I genuinely, if you see from my disarray from this video, I'm just always perplexed. It is idiocy, and that's not being rude towards Nexon. It's just like, it's either deceptive greed or it's idiocy. I don't even know which one to lean on. Are you guys just evil, money hungry people? Or you just lack brain cells? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And it sucks that I hope it's the latter, which right? Like
being pigeonholed, they're essentially being forced to play certain classes that maybe they don't want to necessarily play because of the cash shop restriction. And here's another thing that I don't think makes sense. Maybe the cash shop is not universal because of limitations, like development limitations. Maybe they don't know how to do it. Maybe it's coming soon or something like that. Okay, why not in the meantime enable cash shop transfer until then? There is an event on MapleStory called Cash Shop Transfer Event that lasts for 1 week, where you're actually allowed to transfer items across all of your characters. Why not just enable that event the entire time then, while you develop the cash shop universal? I think we need to complain a lot about this one. This is like a major issue that the game has. Every other region has universal cash shop except for us. And I don't think that we should stand for that. Like, that's ridiculous. They're slowly introducing more and more things to pay for on this game. Like this Mystic Frontier part of Familiars, there's a lot of things in here that you could pay for. So to me, it seems like they're trying to increase the amount of stuff that you can buy, maybe because they want to give us universal cash shop and they're scared of cutting their profits. Like, I'm not sure. What I do know is we need communication about this. Like, give us your plan. Just tell us the damn truth. Tell us the damn truth. If you think that you're going to lose a lot of money because the cash shop is being universal, tell us that, or tell us if we're going to get it or not, at least. Like, that's the overarching theme with this video, is there's these issues going on and there's no communication out at all. I'm going to make a video about it to raise awareness. Go bother your content creators, tell them to talk about it or something, because this is something that we shouldn't forget. We shouldn't just let this pass and then we just forget and not care. Anyways, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know if there are more issues you want to...
Amazing video. Thank you, Duky. More of these bigger content creators need to stop being little, like, freaking Nexon shills, or stop being scared of Nexon inviting you to get a keychain on your phone, or a t-shirt, or a plushie. At the end of the day, we're grown fucking men that play this game. You know, the game is cool, but why do you care about a plushie? I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I'd rather the game be fixed than get a plushie, or get invited to MapleCon and spend 10 racks to go to California with how crap the Canadian dollar is. Sorry, not sorry. So thank you, Duky. Hopefully other people do it. I notice Eric Gaming sometimes makes videos on a similar topic. These two are the only ones I really see talking about stuff. Maybe there's others that it doesn't come to mind. And if that's not your take, that's not your take. But yeah, there's a lot more stuff. I was gonna make one of these myself. I'm gonna redo it just because I didn't like how it came out. But Duky landed on all of these, and he dookied all over these. So like, I don't know, Inkwell, if you're seeing his video, change these things expeditiously. Subscribe to Duky, subscribe to me. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys. If you like my take on this review, put it in the comments below. Please don't be those people that say, just play the video. I'm not stealing this guy's content. I watched it so I can give my take on it. My very long, hurtful, emotional, just trauma filled take, because I've been playing Nexon games since like 2008. So I've dealt with a lot of trauma, guys. Take it easy.